Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the 1 Point Safety Show with myself, Scott Hartley, and my amazing co-host, Scouse Andy. How are you, mate? You all right, bud?
Yeah, man. So all good, man. Excited for next week, man. Cannot
I
wait
am
for
too.
that.
It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. I'm not even anywhere near packed, Scouse. I've got nothing ready yet.
Not even
So,
started, man. Not even
yeah.
started.
Nah, same.
Yeah, man.
It's just doing the man thing. Yeah, it's all good. Shout out to Ian and Jesse in the chat. Appreciate you being here. So thank you for being with us. But yeah, we'll go for our sponsors as always, mate. So we are sponsors of Dunstable Town FC's Talk of the Town podcast for this season. If you're into non-league football, want to go and give them check them out. Their link is in our bio for every show. So go and give them a follow and a watch. Also sponsored by Oddballs. You can go to myoddballs.com. Go and have a look at some boxes and some pants on there. Some nice burgundy and gold ones on there at the minute. So it might be worth going and having a look at them. We're also sponsored by Fusion Therapeutics, which is fusiontherapeutics.co.uk. They provide expert MSK assessments and treatment with a focus on holistic care, dedicated to improving your well-being through tailored musculoskeletal health plans. The team offer specialist injection therapy and non-medical prescribing. If you're in the Northwest, Manchester or Cheshire, give the team a call on 01606 512 013, or you can book online and the team will be happy to advise you further on this affordable treatment solution. So, yeah, man, all good. News then, Scouts. The biggest news that broke yesterday, we'll talk about it a little bit, is the proposed plans for a $3 billion stadium. DC is close to a deal worth more than $3 billion to bring the Commanders home, back to RFK. It's going to be RFK 2.0. The deal isn't final yet. Negotiations are ongoing. So there's a number, and the number of things could change. Obviously, the number will change. Multiple sources familiar with the deal told News 4, got to give them a shout out, that Mayor Muriel Bowser and the Commanders have a framework for a deal in place that would see the team paying the vast majority of costs to build the stadium on the 180-acre site. Commanders are going to put up apparently as much as $2.5 billion. And the district will be $850 million for the on the hoof for that, but it will go towards capital costs around the stadium for infrastructure projects and in the surrounding 180-acre campus, which includes parking, which will take the entire development. District also will be paying in installments, with the first $500 million paid out between 2026 and 2030 for various portions of the work. And the final contribution by the team could be less than the $2.5 billion that's been forecast. But the deal calls for the stadium and parking to be completed by fall of 2030. Commanders owner Josh Harris is also being clear he wants the stadium by 2030, and he's going to act as the oversight for the whole of the project, which is pretty good. I'm looking at this. Realistically, what they've said so far with it, Scouse, is the team will build the stadium, develop the 180-acre campus, but it'll also have a mixed residential and retail opportunities there. But yeah, man, I mean, there is some downsides to it as well, which we'll go through. But what are your thoughts so far on the stadium?
I think 95% of Washington fans want it at RFK. So be back in DC. That's where we belong. You know, I know you can say we'll technically belong at Boston, but in general, we can. We've been Washington since 1937, I think it is, something like that. Yeah. Up until obviously we know the Fan Snyder years. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us, especially most of the fans anyway in Maryland, tend to be the Ravens fans. Let's face it, because they've been a better team than we've been for a long time. So, yeah, let's just get us back where we belong, man. Let's get back where we belong. And I think Washington is exactly where we should be. And it's so cool that we can actually still have the original site as well. Usually when you lose a stadium, it gets knocked down, gets redeveloped into condos or whatever else. Right next to the river, isn't it, as well? So yeah, it will be nice views of let's say residential areas and stuff. The condos we put up, which you still might get a little bit of that, as you mentioned there. But yeah, it's great news, man. It's really great news, and I can't wait to see it.
From a fan's point of view, it's absolutely great news. And, the district of champions, that's what we're saying. And, it's one of them where I'm certainly looking forward to it being at home. I mean, from the other side of the fans' perspective, I've seen, people moaning about tailgating, saying that's not going to happen anymore. I mean, there's going to be recreational park areas. I'm pretty certain there will be places that you go to where you'll be able to get a grill and have a few beers. I think that will happen over time.
Let's face it. Let's just face that. It'll probably still be in the car parking lots anyway.
Yeah, you'd have thought.
Now, you mentioned that it's probably going to be multi-story rather than all on the level. You probably look at multi-story because obviously there is a bit of a space issue. So you're going to see multi-story all around the complex. And I think you can still have a good time in there, in the car parks, because I went to a long time ago now, Jacksonville, when I went over there in 2012, 2013. And I was tailgating underneath this bloody big flyover.
Nice.
Yeah, people just kind of like finding the spaces wherever they could and having a good time, throwing the ball around, having a few beers. It didn't really matter. It really didn't matter because it was similar. Yeah, it wasn't as wide open as FedEx is, as we know. Or, not FedEx, but you know what I mean.
Northwest, whatever they call it these days. Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, there's always spaces to do stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't be worried at all. I think the hardest part is getting, setting it up like a red zone lot, an orange lot, those type things. That might be quite difficult. But I'm sure they'll be able to work something out. I just think the multi-stories would be used for all that, to be honest.
I suppose if you're not a sports fan and you are a taxpayer who lives in that area and a DC taxpayer, the only issue you have got at the moment is there's a massive hurdle of a $410 million budget cut in DC, followed by another $600 million cut that needs to happen next year for next year's budget. So on one hand, you're making people redundant. On the other hand, you're telling the taxpayers we're going to be paying for $850 million towards the completion of a stadium and infrastructure. Now, don't get me wrong, that infrastructure needed to be done anyway. Irrespective of what was built there, you have to do something as the city council to say, this is our land.
We've been around there. It's falling apart around there. And, even the the metro station was falling apart there, and all around it. It's just not good. Not a good look at this moment. So as you say before, something had to have been done. So why not? I mean, it would have cost more than what they're paying to probably redo that area and whatever they wanted to do. So to give it back to us, and we're paying 75% or whatever the bill's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's reasonable. I mean, I understand it's taxpayers' money. I understand that but the thing is, in the UK, our taxpayers' money goes towards these things, and it isn't for the stadium, as you said before. It's about the infrastructure around it to improve the roads or to add extra roads or whatever to improve the metro lines, the train lines. That's exactly what it's all about. When you're making these new stadiums or building, on top of other part of stadiums, like for example, Everton have got their new place on the docks there. That costs a lot of money, and our taxpayers' money paid towards that. But again, not for the stadium itself, but just to kind of access and you know what I mean. So, it's unfortunately it's just normal nowadays, and I just hope people don't get too pissed off who aren't, as you say, or aren't NFL fans.
Yeah, I think you've got to look at what's going to be in there around it. I mean, you're creating jobs in one hand by saying, look, you're going to have stores around it. You're going to have, outlets for food. You're going to have lots of different recreational spots. Hotels will be there. All that sort of stuff will go in, and that will create jobs locally, which is a good thing. We can't look away from that. Taxpayers' dollars, obviously, will come more into the DC coffers because you are creating them jobs. And also at the same time, the funds apparently are being levied through taxation, but it's being levied through time. Now, when we got back to the $2.5 billion side of it, we were talking about that just before and how much Josh Harris is actually, and obviously the consortium are willing to put up. That is an obscene amount of money for one owner to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to put this forward. Now, normally there is a loan from the NFL. I think the last one, SoFi, and I also think the Allegiant over at the Raiders got the $500 million loan that the NFL is able to give each team that goes to a new stadium. So, and I think they pay it back over like 10 years. It's like 50 million a year. It's like an interest-free loan. So in the grand scheme of things, if they did that, you're then down to probably 2 bill, if not 1.8, something like that. And I was having a bit of a Google search on Forbes, and I thought, I wonder how much Josh Harris is worth now. And obviously, when he took over the team, he's worth 5.6 bill. Then he obviously bought the team and paid out the money for that. Now you look back, he's worth 9.9 billion. So, money comes to money, and obviously the economy is doing well and his investments are doing well. But when you think about it that way, you're not on paper, you're extremely rich, but it's not that massive. You know what I mean? It's not a $6 billion, thing. It's half what the team cost you to buy. So can he find the money? Yeah, of course he can find the money. And I think it's
brilliant. He's the majority owner. He's not the total owner. He
Correct.
isn't.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Snyder. Though there is multiple owners of this team, he's just the main guy. So and I was still on the same page. And the great thing is that we're seeing progress every year already. Never mind the team itself, but the actual, even Northwest has improved a bit. Yes, still not a great stadium, but it's improved. Better sound system, better screen, etc., etc. To try and keep it. Obviously, we've got to be there for at least another 3 to 4 years. But then they're also planning bigger and better things, and it's nice to see that from a fan's point of view. At the end of the day, these guys are willing to throw the money in, so why not reap the rewards later on?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the amount of we've spoke about it before. I think the last time this subject was brought up, we talked about, like you just said there, to your point, Scouse, that the money that we've put into the stadium and the differences that it has made, it has got better. From the first year we went, when we watched them against the Jags, to the last time we went out there, massive differences in and around that stadium, and you can tell, you can see it with your own eyes, you can hear it through the sound system, the PA. It's got a lot better. I don't believe it was at any stage. I mean, if that's the worst stadium in the NFL, then you need to come and watch some lower league football with me. You know what I mean? Because this is because it's night and day. Honestly, it is absolutely night and day. Now, do we expect more? Absolutely. And if anything is to go off them plans that we saw with made of wood and the domed roof and all that sort of stuff, you think to yourself, hey man, this is going to be pretty special when we look at it. I can't wait to see some actual concrete plans to say, yeah, this is what we're going to do and to get past this next stage, because undoubtedly there's going to be blockers. We've got zonal, people talking about zoning. Residents are going to complain, saying they want to put a petition to block the whole stadium. I mean, I get it, mate. I get it. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Green Bay. We'll find out next week. You look outside your house and you're looking at a stadium. I understand, but
the thing is, though, there's pros and cons to that as well. So, yeah, okay, they're going to have 3 years of pain or 4 years of pain because of all the road works that's going to be around there, all the noise, etc., etc. I understand that. But then the thing is, what they've got to understand is that once that stadium's there, their house is going to be worth more, not less.
Of course.
Because people might actually want to buy the house now, where before they didn't, so you can hike the prices up. Or if you don't want to move, you can rent it out for weekends. If you really didn't want it, and that can make a load of money as well. I think we would hire something out for a weekend if we were going
100%.
You go with one of the matches, 100%. If you could just walk over to the stadium from where you live. It's a no-brainer. You would do that, wouldn't you? So
yeah,
people can make a fortune from this. Everybody, even people who are already there, though, the houses that are already there, they can actually make some big money off this once it's all done and dusted. But yes, I understand the next 3 or 4 years are going to be quite annoying and quite painful for them. But they will get some rewards for that if they stick with it.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. I mean, it's a great thing, though. We have to look at it in the round and say, come on now, this is a stadium that's going to be used for everything. It's going to be used 24/7. It's going to be used 365 is what they're obviously looking to do. Talking about cinema. Yeah, exactly. They're talking about cinema complexes in there, all sorts of bits and pieces. You know what I mean? You could have a small Tyson's there if you really wanted to, because the site is going to be big enough. But you want to be attracting World Cups. You want to be attracting WrestleManias, you want to be attracting big concerts, all that sort of stuff is what you really want to see. And it's not, in the grand scheme of things, it needs to happen right now. You know what I mean? It needs to have a spade in the ground, I would say, in the next 18 months. Otherwise, we are going to be struggling because the lease over at FedEx is up 2027, mate. So
yeah, I mean, obviously that's been quite. I think the mayor from Maryland's always said that it's quite easy to extend that by a couple of years.
Yeah,
that's not going to be a big issue for us.
Plus, he won't want to. They won't want to lose money there either. To be fair,
no, of course. So, and I think they're good. They're obviously going to be pissed off because he's moving away, and Maryland are going to lose that money. So, as you say, they're probably going to make something on that site.
I still think what we talked about last time, Scouse. I agree with you. I know where you're going with that. If you have a wall of Fame or some sort of memorabilia type
museum or some sort, or something, people might go
and a training center. If you made that into the training center, that would then so the players are over at like Northwest doing the training and whatever else there. That makes sense because you still got the presence over in Maryland, over that side.
They could sell
they sell Ashburn for how much money? Because obviously the solar farms and whatever else is around there.
$2 billion as well. I think it really could be
exactly. And then you're looking almost at like a self-funding stadium,
Yeah.
Shout out to Rod. Hello, Rod, mate. Nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, these guys aren't stupid, man. I mean, they're not going to pay out that much to actually themselves. The only thing is, though, is that like everything. Have you ever noticed a stadium's like it's going to be $1 billion or $1.5 billion, but in the final always way more. Have you ever noticed that every year everything goes up, man? Cost of labor goes up, cost of steel goes up, all sorts, right? So
all you got to do is look. All you got to do is look at what I do for a living, mate, and how much the money goes up. So yeah.
Everything goes up in price.
Projects. So projects are like that, mate. I mean, honestly, you go into
problems or and that costs money. So yeah, I mean, it's $2.5 billion from us now.
I think the asbestos cost to even remove the asbestos out of that stadium would be wild. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Well, we're talking 50
the river as well. You don't want all that shit falling into the river. So
you're talking 50 to 100 mil there. Easy. Just to remove that. Do you know what I mean? And you're thinking,
smash up, isn't it? But no, you've got asbestos.
No, you can't. Everything's got to be.
It's
well, when you think of when it was built, and then you look back and you go, oh, okay, so what sort of materials would you use in there? And I mean, this is my daily routine. I'm walking around old factories, old facilities, looking, going, hang on a minute, what's that gutter made of? Oh, okay, there's galbestos in there, right? Brilliant. And then you need to need a specialist contractor to come in to remove it all, and it's a massive cost. So yeah, I mean, fair play. Josh Harris, as the principal contractor, has got his hands full on this. That's 100% certainty. But we'll wish him nothing but the best for that, and it'll be really good, mate. It'll be really good. Right, Scouts. I think what we'll do, mate, is we'll do our mock draft for the one that we think is realistic. We're going to do our most realistic mock draft of what we really want. We can argue the toss between us because no doubt we will. No love lost here between me and you, who all got prospects who we like. If you're in the chat, Jesse, Rods, Ian, anyone else who's in the chat or anyone who's watching live, come and tell us what you think, what you would do. Before we get started, though, I mean, what is your outset if you were the GM and you were AP right now? What are you wanting to do? What's your number one situation? Are you going to look for extra picks? Are you going to stick and pick? Does it all depend on the board? I don't know.
I think like everything, I think we should be open for all these things. So, if someone comes knocking on the door and offers just a really good deal, then I might be tempted to trade down, but I'm not going to trade up. I don't think we've got enough capital to do that.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Do we need more picks? If we're looking for starters, then realistically, you've got enough there. You can get your 2 to 3 guys, potentially starters, if you pick well. Then your 2 guys are going to be depth pieces anyway. And then the other guys you can fill in with undrafted free agents. So for me, I'm not looking for extra picks unless I'm trying to go like we did last year, 2 seconds for our first or something like that. If it's nothing like that, then I'm not interested. I don't want someone offering me my first rounder for next year's first rounder for some team. No. now. I need something that's going to be worthwhile, man. So for me, it all depends what gets offered at the time we're on the board and exactly how the board falls as well.
Yeah, exactly. I hope that if you're listening to this, I apologize. Obviously, it's quite an interactive one. Pop over to YouTube and go and give this bit a watch. We're 20 minutes in. Come over. Anyone in the chat, just if you think we're making a wrong move, tell us, and we'll try and work it through. I mean, going into the draft, you're looking at running.
War room. This can be our war room right here.
Yeah, man. Why not? You're looking at
a couple of guys from the chat.
You're looking at running back, you're looking at corner, you're looking at edge, obviously, possibly offensive tackle, maybe stroke guard, and then safety's probably still an issue.
There's definitely, to be fair, I mean, this team, I mean, if you look at out starters, you've probably got one or two positions you think really better upgrade as a starter. After that, then you're looking at like good depth pieces. Being honest,
yeah, and I think in being honest with you, this draft is very much like that. I mean, we couldn't have picked a worse draft to go to be fair. When I say worse, I'm not. I mean, the place for a start doesn't help being in Green Bay, but
it ain't no Jaden Daniels coming out to us this year.
That's what I mean, and I don't mean that disrespectfully to any of these players that are coming out, but what I mean by that is the absolute superstars that you can think of. There doesn't seem to be that many coming out of this draft. What you can get at 5. You can certainly get at pick 30. There's no real drop-off between the top 10 and then if you pick him where we are at 29. It's difficult, but I get it. You know what I mean? I mean, look at last year. When you think about last year and you just go, right, okay, 5 QBs straight off the bat that can play in this league. You know, when you're looking at Penix Jr., Williams, who else was there? JJ, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May straight off the bat. But, and then... who's the what's the thingy called? The Denver quarterback. Oh my god, his name's escaping me. Nick, Bo Nix. Exactly. So 6. You know what I mean? And you think to yourself,
I think didn't they all 6?
Yeah, they did. And then you look at the O line. There's no Joe Alt this year. Every O lineman this year has got an issue in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's hand placement, whether it's, you know what I mean, the anchor isn't right. There's something going on.
But the good news is, though, is that there's a lot of good players, as you said before. Is there a massive drop-off from the first, say, 10 to 15? There's a drop-off, yeah, but then after that, there's not a massive drop-off from there up until, like, the 4th, 5th round. That's how solid the whole, in certain positions, is throughout the whole draft.
And then if you look at, like,
names, but they're actually good players. So
if you look at receiver like last year, you go, okay, you know, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Roma Dunze, Harrison Jr., unbelievable. And now you look at this draft and you go, outside the top maybe 2, it's quite a drop off. So that's why it's depth. There's loads of depth in D-line. There's loads of depth in edge. There's loads of depth in running back. There's loads of depth in other positions. But it's going to be tough. So let's see how we get on anyway, Scouse, and we'll put this up and we'll have an argument, mate, and we'll see how we go. So we'll add it to the stage there. Hopefully you can all see that. But if you can't and it's a little bit small, let us know. So we're on the clock. We're not on the clock at the minute, but we'll start the draft and it's going to go very quick so we can roll through this. That was very quick. So right now,
we went.
So we can have a look, but I mean, what we've got left on the board at the moment is Omarion Hampton's the top player that's on there from obviously ranked 25 according to PFF's board.
Anyone off?
Where would you? There is some trades. But let's have a look at what we got first. So, are you looking at edge realistically at 29 going into this?
Yeah, who's there? Who's there at edge?
I will tell you now who we've got. Edge
28.
So we have Nick Scorton still available. We have Shamar Stewart still available. Then we have Landon Jackson, who Ken is very high on. Yeah, obviously, Landon Jackson's at 39, very good run stuffer. Shamar Stewart is Jesse's kind of pick. He has got very poor. He's got great ability, but he's got very poor. He's got 4.5 sacks in his entire collegiate career. Stewart, yeah. Nick Scorton would probably be for me the pick here, but he's at 31. Let's see what trade.
Yeah,
let's see what trades we've got.
Because there's still three guys there that I like.
Yeah. So
let's have a look at the trade. Yeah.
So the first team that's looking at a trade is Atlanta. They're picking at 46. Next one after that is the Texans at 58. And then it's the Detroit Lions at 60. I don't want anything to do with that. So let's go back and have a quick look if you want to do a trade and see the teams that I think may do it. So Cleveland took Abdul Carter. And I get that.
That was Hunter one. That's interesting.
Yeah. Shador hasn't gone on here. So, he's still on the board by the looks of it.
Really?
Yeah. Michael Williams went at 28. Gray Zabel, Josh Conley Jr., Colston Loveland went. Kenneth Grant went. Then you're into the Genties, Tetro McMillan. Cam Ward went 7. So let's have a quick look on the board to see what we've got at QB, because I think there's going to be a QB needy team. Yeah, I mean, Shador Sanders is still there.
This is why people are trying to get our pick, because, and Atlanta wouldn't make sense for a quarterback, I don't think. I know.
I don't think it would either.
I can't see that.
So do you want to try and propose a trade then with, say, one of them other teams that are picking? Like, I would look at Cleveland there and think, what have you got? Or maybe even New York, which I don't know if you want to bother about the Giants, but being in division, would you want to look at, say, Cleveland and see what we can do to trade back?
The very first pick, as in like our next pick, technically would be 46. That would be our best one. Is that the best trade?
That's the best that they've got yet at the moment.
Is that what they're offering us, 46?
No, they're not. They're interested in the pick, but we haven't obviously proposed a trade.
No. What they proposed for us?
They haven't. That's what I'm saying. They're saying they're interested in the pick. Atlanta, Houston, and Detroit are interested, but apparently, according to this board,
so
but we haven't
proposed anything. So none of these
not at the moment.
Anything.
Not at the moment. No. So either you stick and pick here, or you can try and propose a trade, and it's your call. I'll let you make the call here.
Will Miles, restart this if Ward didn't go number 1.
I agree, mate. I agree. It's wild that Travis Hunter went 1. You know what I mean?
I reckon he's probably going 3 or 4. I reckon. No, let's keep it. I don't like these fucking shitty options they've got.
Well, what about then if we tried to go with the Browns and see what the Browns would give us? Would they give us 33? If we gave them 29, I don't think they'd give us 67. Oh, they're not interested in trading for this pick. Okay. Well, that's not helpful. What about, no, they're just saying they're definitely not interested. All right, fine. What about New York? Because they're at 34. Okay, 34. Not interested. No, so it looks like we're going to have to stick and pick. Okay, so let's look at the best players on the board then. So we've got Amari Hampton.
I see this is where it gets crazy because...
Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing here.
Because obviously Hampton is a quality running back and, he definitely won't be in the second.
No, he won't be. Trey Amos is very good as well at 30. He's ranked 30, but obviously a corner. And then you're into Nick Scotton at 31.
Yeah. See, if somebody was offering me 50 and 52 for 29.
Yeah.
I got okay. Yeah, I'll do something like that. But with the way those were pretty shady. So
yeah.
Come on, let's go Hampton. Let's change it up because everyone goes all I go on about is edge. So
okay, drafting Hampton. Okay, so our next pick is at 61. So we'll see where we've gone. So Travian Henderson went at 60.
I knew he wouldn't. I knew he wouldn't make it to the second. Well, I didn't think he'd get that close to us because he was my second running back on the board.
Malone, Scatterbo's gone. Right, let's have a look at where are you looking at going edge? Because if it's me that's picking at 61, I think we've got to do something here unless there's a standout corner on the board. So you're looking at Oladejo is probably the best corner on there, or Josiah Stewart's pretty good as well at edge, yeah. So we can have a look at Oladejo, and we can see what his first look and his stats are. So it's saying he's a 3-star prospect who played his first 2 years in Cal, off-ball linebacker, improved his PFF defensive grade, not interested in his grade. Impressed at the Senior Bowl, practices by winning the majority of his pass rush one-on-one reps. He's an inexperienced pass rusher that teams will take a chance on due to his athleticism and 33.38 of inch arms. So he's got, it wasn't until 2 games into his senior season with the Bruins that he played the majority of snaps. So he lacks experience and fully formed pass rush repertoire. So that's
I don't like that. I don't like that as a second rounder. I like someone who's like, okay, you might not be getting 10 plus sacks every year in college, but I want someone who's a bit more. Or he's played it 1 year and he was okay. You know what I mean? I want someone a bit more than that.
Jack Sawyer's pretty good from Ohio State.
That would be
Ashton Gallotti. I think
you're reaching there. I
think you're absolutely reaching at edge as well. Okay, so if we're not going to go edge, then what are we looking? Receiver, corner.
To be fair, we need an edge, man. Like we've got no players. We've got no actual decent edge player. So I don't think we can afford to go down, wait for the 3rd round for an edge. I don't think we can do it.
I mean, if you look at let's have a look at DI inside, because there's a guy late on who I quite like as well. Who is an edge rusher? CJ West. Where are we looking? Yeah, I'd be targeting this Harrison Hunt later on in the draft, but that's way down.
You stick with the 2nd round. I'm looking at 3rd and 4th here at the moment. We need to be looking at.
But there's nothing here.
Anybody interested in trading with us?
Yeah, Jacksonville. But they've got 70.
So we dropped down 9 spots.
9 spots, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, you could see what you could get. I mean, if you went
screaming at me, these edge guys here. That I mean, you know, it's just
it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. What do you do?
Back to the edge guys again. Back to the edge guys again.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, back on. So Femi is decent from UCLA. He's not bad. Jared Ivey, I mean, again, 62. What's his look? Pass rush grade 90, run defense grade 82. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Played 6'6", 280, built for the NFL.
I'm looking at rather than 6'3", like the other guy was.
Yeah. Doesn't have a ton of pass rush moves, but one that he does know, bull rush, swim, club rip, can be effective. Punch at the contact is imposing. Generates a crazy amount of power and movement with his hands. Okay, that sounds all right.
It's better to be more inside for the 3-4 front.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to play him outside linebacker, aren't you?
Yeah, almost. Yeah,
because we play 4-3, don't we? Mostly.
We do. Yeah, we do.
I know it's fluid-ish, but you know that's what we are.
So what you're saying here is a physically gifted player with devastating power in his hands to hold the point of attack and stack and shed consistently. He lacks speed, lower body flexibility.
Technically, he's going to be a good edge setter, you think?
Yeah, he will be he'll be a good edge setter, but he'll also be able to get through there. I think Josiah Stewart's a good shout, but again, he's rated at 73 here, so you could potentially go back. Juiced up pass rather less than ideal measurables.
6'1", that's small, man.
6'1", yeah.
Against 6'5" tackles, you know what I mean? Although he might be able to get underneath the block. So he's got good spin moves and stuff. Or not seen him play, so I don't know much about him. But out of those 3, I'd probably go for Ivy.
Yeah, and what we at 61, so it's the the board is the board. I'll take Ivy then. Let's take Ivy.
Yeah, Ivy. We go. Probably get abused for this one, but
probably.
It is what it is.
Right, we're on to the next one. Right, now we're into places. So we have some good depth here at 128, and there's some that are sticking off the board straight away for me here. Especially it's them first 3 there. So RJ Mickens is a decent safety and a leader and has been at Clemson. Kobe Bryant, it's piss or vinegar with him. He is pretty good as a corner. So Seth McLaughlin's a decent centre, but are you using 1-8 for a backup centre? Probably not.
Probably not worth it.
So
because deep down, besides injuries to Biadish, which normally does happen, but if he's healthy, that guy's not going to see the field ever. So it's not worth it for your fourth rounder to be that.
So San Francisco's interested in a trade, going back 10 spots though. But you could get more out of it. So you could probably, I reckon, for 1-8, you could get 160 and 138. So you're gaining a pick.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You could try it.
Okay, let's see if we can try it. We'll do them two for that one. No, won't be accepted. Okay, that's not good.
Fucking 9.
What about 227? 227, the same will be accepted. What about 249?
They're all just fodder, though, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, you're reaching at straws there, aren't you?
You might as well stick with them.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to stick and pick here again. So
we've got our edge. We've got
our edge. Yeah.
Any good receivers on there?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Potentially receivers. Okay. It says pick a running back now. Okay. We've already picked one.
A little bit early, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting, to go.
Marion Hampton to be there, yeah. Well, let's have a look at our picks then. So we've got Hampton and Ivy so far are our picks. So we've got 1-8. Let's have a look at what we've got on the board then here. So wide receiver. You wanted to look at wide receiver. Ty Felton's here. He's rated at 149. Decent receiver out of Maryland. He's got a few issues with his hands, but he's got blistering speed. So that might be one.
Yeah, speed's nice, but you've got to be able to catch the ball, man. Otherwise, you just got another De'Ami Brown, haven't we? Let's face it.
Yeah. So I don't know how much there is there. I don't know much about Pat Brown. I'll be honest with you. It's one I've not really looked at, so I couldn't really tell you on that.
Look at tackle for me.
OT. Crenshaw Dickinson's pretty decent.
My boy is there, Logan Brown.
You like him, do you? I like this guy here, Chase Lunt from Connecticut.
Good right tackle, Logan Brown. I think he'd be well worth having. Absolute beast against the run.
He looks and grades like the kind of offensive tackle worth taking a chance on. He has ideal athletic build for the position with great height, weight, length, flashes power on contact, fluid movement skills. Fundamentals remain a work in progress. Plays too high.
Hard, you know what I mean? Like he's playing all the way through the whistle. What I've seen of him, I do like him. I do like him for an option. And again, up to you though, really. If you're happy with a tackle.
It's 20 spots though, above where you would.
I mean, maybe you could try and trade down. Maybe try and trade down with somebody else and maybe still go for that tackle. Or I'd say if you're liking the corner there.
I'm looking at this here, this pass grade average for safeties. So it says what you should make a role on a roster. Because I'm not too. I mean, losing Chin was a big loss.
We're hoping that the guy be signed. What's his name?
Will Harris. Yeah,
we're hoping that he's going to be the real deal. So let's see.
There you go. I mean, read up the write up on Kobe.
Yeah.
So his namesake is a top player mentality position. His length helps him overcome very slender build, but his lower mass don't want slender 175.
Oh, thank you, mate. No, thank you. No,
5'10. Yeah. I quite
6'1",
like
but he's just he's slim build. We got burnt with that one, from Forbes. So I'm not having that.
What's Ty Robinson like? Back up. No, with upside. No, I'm not bothered about that. Tough this one, isn't it? Very tough pick. Back to receiver.
Yeah.
Ty Felton's the one from Maryland.
Now again, he's the local lad, didn't he? So obviously people like him playing for us.
Yeah.
But
likely lacks the true difference maker quality needed for a late round flyer and depth at receiver.
That's what I mean. He's from Ashburn, so
he's not.
I mean, he's from Virginia, so he's a local lad. But it's just a case of Is that a little high? Do you know what I mean? Are we looking a little high for him here?
What's Jalen Lane like? I mean, again, speed and agility from the slot. So you've got a slot there, slot receiver, not what you want. You want someone on the outside, really, don't you? And he's in round 4. It's going to be a tough one.
Is Stingo still there? Higgins, is he still available?
Higgins.
Is it Jaden Higgins? Is it something like that? Jaden, something like that.
Jalen Higgins. No, I think he's gone, mate. To be fair, he'd probably have gone in the 3rd. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Shador, Terrence Ferguson. I couldn't see it. Bit quick, you know what I mean?
Let's type him in. Search all players.
Yeah, Higgins was it?
I think it's Higgins. Yeah.
There's a no. He's not. He's not there.
He's not there. Sorry,
not there. Must have gone.
It is Higgins, isn't it? I'm on about.
Yeah, it is. You are. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely correct. Need a wide receiver, not O-line. Pick Felton. Okay. Cheers, Jesse.
Well, he's the local lad. I mean, Jesse would know more about him being a fan, isn't he? He's a Maryland fan.
He's due he's at 149. We're at 128. Is it a bit of a reach?
I mean, you see,
could we trade back 10 spots and pick something up?
Well, that's it. This is what we're looking at here. We could drop 10 spots and still get maybe that tackle I mentioned, or go for that receiver. Or Felton at that point.
No, 227 maybe.
Trade with who else should we go? Besides San Fran.
You're going too far, mate. I mean,
right.
New York 154.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, it's way too far.
Yeah.
So I think, what about that? And then if we go 160, no, won't do it. Bollocks. 227.
I mean, but I guess I'm saying, see, you're trading down for two picks later on, but you're hoping
you're hoping you're trying to get something out of there, and we really don't know what the bottom of the roster is like.
To be fair, we've got 2 extra spots. This 6 rounders, is that right?
A 6th and a 7th. I'm not sure. 7th. Yeah. We'll try it. It's been accepted. So down 10 spots. So RJ Mickens is still there, who should be 108. Ty Robinson's still there, 122. So we'll have a look at wide receiver.
As our mate going,
he's still there.
Okay,
so let's take Felton then.
Yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him then.
There you go. Felton's been taken. So now next pick's now at 205.
Yeah, painful.
It is painful. There he is. Jared Harrison Hunt. I like this guy. If you read up, I like Armstrong as well, actually, as a wide receiver. But if you read this here, it's an intriguing prospect to develop, considering he has a frame to fill out and flashes very good athleticism. 4.8640, 1.69 10-yard split is what they're looking at. He needs to D-line, but he is an edge as well. He can play edge. The bit that got me there is 44 pressures with 8 sacks in 2024.
That's not bad.
So if we look at his stats here,
I mean, if you like him, I mean, I don't know much about him, but if you like him for this one,
yeah, I mean, he's got persistent hurries, sacks, hits. You know, he's played well. What's his analysis like on here? It doesn't really say. So yeah, he's 6'4", 294.
Yeah, so he's got like a decent measurable. So he's quick as well, and he's got decent height.
And he's quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for a flyer,
yeah,
and the ranking position wise, he's 170 according to PFF. So yeah, I'm going to take him. Yeah, so he double dipped a bit on edge there. That's all right.
To be fair, we still need it, man. We didn't have it wasn't sorted last year, even with Thingo getting all the sacks. What's his name? Fowler.
Fowler, yeah. Now there's 2 prospects here, Scouse, and I'll let you can do what you want.
Still there for me tackle. I mentioned he well gone. Logan Brown.
Higgins is an early second round pick.
I know he went early, but
did you say Brown? You were looking at that guy Brown, Logan Brown. No, although this guy here, Jalen Travis, is he could be pretty decent at right tackle. So
is that the good Iowa or is that the bad Iowa? Because there was a really
I don't know. I think that's the bad. I think that's the bad Iowa. Big, long, explosive, offensive tackles whose traits profile best in zone blocking scheme. While he has the size, his kick slide quickness and length aren't quite NFL starter level. Okay. Still, yeah, I know. Yeah, still have to allow 2.5, but 2.5 pressures in 2024.
2.5%.
Oh yeah, 2.5%. Sorry, yeah. It's not 2.5 pressures. That's the bit.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
What's Xavier Truss like? 3-year starter at Georgia.
It's always a.
I know you're not. I know you shouldn't be. I know you shouldn't be scouting a helmet, but that's maybe one for offensive linemen. Did we get a? We didn't get a corner. So
no, we didn't get a corner.
What have we got at corner here?
Saint Ghost. That's usually now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's come back in as Saint Ghost, and now he's actually a rookie again.
Let's have a look. I mean, Zach Frazier, he's not bad. I mean, he's got his coverage grade's pretty good. His run defense grade, man coverage grade's terrible. So that's
yeah. I think that's what the boys.
6'3", 185.
Again, nice height. Nice height.
He's a foot. Yeah, so there he's saying in his lone year as a full-time starter, he did an 82.5 coverage grade.
Raw, isn't it? That's what that one is.
It's raw, yeah. But yeah, again, it's raw.
But again, it's kind of what are we able to pick? What
227, and he's ranked 189.
I mean, what's Nico Reed like? What was he like then? Nico Reed,
yeah.
Because when Oregon quite good this year.
Oregon were, so 78. Run defense grade is 89. Man coverage is 75. Might be worth a flyer here. High football IQ with strong recognition and anticipation skills. I like that. Not afraid to stick his nose in as a tackler.
You can always
look at his height, mate. He's 5'10".
If it's a corner, you know.
I know. But do you want a lengthy corner, or are you?
He'd definitely be a slot guy. Depth slot, I reckon he'd be.
Depth slot, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you take Nico Reed?
Oh yeah, Will Miles knows about the South Frazier.
Go on then.
He said he's like Tariq Woolen, long, tall.
Wide receiver better in zone than they are from the same school. Okay. Mm-hmm. You are throwing darts at this point, Jesse. You're absolutely right. So I like Zach Frazier, but it's your call, mate.
I mean, to be fair, if it's anything like Tariq Woolen, I'll take it.
Yeah.
If it's anything that player, so
let's do Zach Frazier then. On them. Bigger, lengthier corner. Nico Reed's still there. Wow. Okay. Right, we are clutching at straws here with 2 picks left.
Oh yeah, this could be the one that you're picking. Actually, saying on the day.
Could be on the day 245. Yeah,
give you that one there. Jo'quavious Marks.
Jo'quavious Marks. Yeah. Bo Collins. Yeah. Oh, Thomas Johnson. No, I mean,
you'll definitely get that one, won't you?
Aronde Gladson II. Quinton Jackson. I mean, what?
Yeah, sure. Small Mondon.
Yeah, it's small. Smile. He's actually called Smile. Smile Mondon
you know
Jr.
What it says?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's all right. He is, but it's pronounced Smile. I had to look at it earlier. I was laughing, going, "Please don't give me that guy," because I'll be like, "What is this?" It's Woody Marks. I don't know why they use government name on PFF. Yeah, it's Woody Marks, is it? Okay, is that how you say it? Right, cool, fair enough.
Woody, imagine comment saying Woody. Yeah, man. Right, so what do we need now then? So we've got an edge. We've now took the corner.
So we've got a running back, we've got an edge, we've got a wide receiver, we've got a defensive lineman who can play edge, and then we've got a corner as well.
Yeah, so I'm looking
guard.
All line help, yeah. I'm looking for all line help now. Let's see what we got.
I am too. So let's see what we've got here. Xavier Truss is still here. I mean, that's the Georgia guy we looked at before as a tackle. Doesn't look that great. Yeah, he's a 3 year. So he's playing his first season at left guard before moving to right tackle. likely needs to play guard at the next level due to slow footwork. Not ideal. So
although, what's up with that? I mean, 3-year starter at Georgia, you got to be decent.
Yeah. You're not. Yeah, to be at that school. Yeah, absolutely. We're picking. What's the interior offensive line? Timothy McKay. He's ranked 257. That's ridiculous. Joshua Gray's at Oregon State's meant to be pretty decent. Incredible experienced lineman starting the last 5 years. 4 of those years were spent at left tackle before kicked inside to play left guard. Yeah.
Well, but you need a left guard if we're gonna, because I don't like Allegretti. So
possibly. I mean, he's 6'4", 310. So, but again, is he going to be? He's ranked, apparently, according to this, he's 261. So we're at 245.
Is the guy called Hayden Connors, is he still available?
Yeah, I will have a look for you. CONN. No, he's not.
He'd have been good.
Tough one.
He's a guard as well, but yeah.
Tight end or linebacker?
We got raw linebackers already.
Yeah, I know we have. You're right. You are right.
Yeah, Will Miles, he seems to know a bit more. This guy says Clay Webb, former 5-star recruit.
Clay Webb.
Yeah. Nice. Couldn't start at Georgia, went to Jacksonville State. So that'd be interesting. Is he still there?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's Jacksonville State. He's ranked 264.
And he's a guard. Yeah.
Let's have a look at his write-up. He has got decent stats on all 3 years by the looks of it there. Grinder has the athleticism and attitude to give himself a chance in the run game. Short arms.
We need a run game. We need a run game, buddy guy.
So look, earned first team All Conference USA selections. Decent. Makes up for his size with solid athleticism. So he's 6'3", 290. So not the biggest guard.
He might have come up a little bit in weight, I think. But yeah. I mean, I say if this guy was
I tell you what we could do. I think we could pick him at 249.
Yeah. Okay. Then if we're leaving someone like that, so who else you want to go then? Linebacker? Do you want to go linebacker?
Yeah, probably. Or safety. If we haven't got a safety.
Yeah, but who's going to be lefties any good there now? I mean,
you're not going to get anything.
Safety.
The guy at Syracuse. Nah, I'm not liking that at all.
Well, he can play.
Yeah, he can play.
He can play all different multiple positions.
Yeah, that's true. What about linebacker then? Tough. Probably shouldn't have traded back, to be fair now. Or do we take the guard here and do we do the unthinkable and draft the kicker?
Oh, yeah. Who is the kickers? Who's available?
Both of them will be, no doubt about it.
You think?
100% they'll both be here.
Fitzgerald's
there, look.
There he is.
Fitzgerald's there. And the other one there is Borgales, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's there too. So, if you want the outstanding kicker, you could go with it at 249 and we can take Clark here. What do you think?
Well, we'll get Rin to take the kicker.
No, I don't care. I think it's needed. He puts points on the board.
He is. He's important.
Puts points on the board.
Either you want to go for it now and then try and get the guard after.
No, I'm going to go.
You're going to go for the guard first and try and go for the kicker.
Yeah, I'll go with Clay. I'll take Clay Webb. I'll take a chance on Clay Webb, and we'll get the kicker last. He'll still be here. Don't you worry about that.
Well, this is our last pick, isn't it? 249.
It is our last pick. He is definitely.
He's gone now. Watch. He got taken.
100% he'll be there. There he is. Yeah, Ryan Fitzgerald.
Well then, Ryan.
Done. Ryan Fitzgerald. Right. It's going to be your draft is shit. Here's a C grade. Here's a C grade draft.
It's just shit in your English. You got no idea. Yeah.
So it says we should have took Willie Lampkin from as a guard rather than taking Ty Felton. So we got, what did we overall get? We got an A. So overall we got a B plus.
We got a D for Ty Felton. Jesse's fault.
But look, man, it's not a bad draft, that. So we came out with exactly what we needed. We've got a top-tier running back, a decent edge guy, and then we've got, a wide receiver, potentially another edge or D lineman, backup cornerback, depth in guards, and an outstanding kicker.
And then we got a kicker, yeah. Only C+ for the best kicker in coming out of the draft.
I know, because but then this is PFF. I'm going off, and they're saying you should never draft a kicker. So, that's John Tayman. He says never ever draft a kicker.
Okay, well, was the best kickers of all time, but were they drafted?
I don't know. Don't think so.
Because when you're looking for a kicker, you want someone who's actually consistent, who can do it for years.
Yeah, of course you do. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're not trying to hope to switch kickers every bloody 3 weeks like we do. So
and look, at the end of the day, why would people get hung up on a 7th rounder as a kicker?
Yeah, exactly.
Most 7th rounders don't even make the roster. So let's be honest here. You're very lucky.
Who's the one who plays the Ravens?
Justin Tucker.
Tucker, right. So let's see where he was drafted.
I'm not sure he was. Maybe he was. Maybe a 6th rounder at best.
Undrafted. Okay.
There you go. There you go. So yeah,
that's probably the reason why people think that you can get like a Hall of Fame kickers.
I don't really, honestly, don't really know any real kickers that have ever been drafted that I can think of off the top of my head, because they bounce around everywhere, don't they? So it's just one of them. It's just one of them things. If you want to kick, then you're not going to get there. If you don't draft a kicker, then your chances of signing him are slim to none. Absolutely, Jesse. I agree with you. If you're the best kicker in the game, coming out of college, and you've not missed at all in the season, you're 64 of 64 in extra points. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have every team in the league wants to sign you, and it's who's got the most money and who do you want to play for is then the answer to the question, isn't it? And does he want to go, oh yeah, I'll play for Washington?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, okay, we might be a better destination than we were, but we're still not going to be the first choice of these kickers if you are.
Where was Young Wei Koo drafted? As in, like, what round? Because I'm sure he was drafted. Will's saying here a lot of current kickers are 4th to 7th round picks, and a lot are undrafted as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the kickers that have been drafted on a list here.
Yeah.
So you've got last year there was 3 that were taken.
Wow.
All in the 6th round.
Okay.
Will Reichert for Vikings, Joshua Carty for Rams, and Cam Little for the Jags.
Yeah, he was meant to be the top dog, Cam Little. Yeah.
Jake Moody went in the 3rd round last year, 2 years ago.
Ooh, wow.
Good kick for 3rd round. Even Cade York was 4th round. Chad Ryland, 4th round for the Pats, who then got in from the Pats and went. He's at Arizona now. I think he's doing well there. So
Jake Elliott was a 5th for the Eagles. Yeah. Where did Brown? What was Aubrey? Was he undrafted? Came from the XFL or whatever it was.
Aubrey, yeah, XFL, yeah. He was even in the NFL at the start. Seibert was for the 5th rounder.
There you go. So it's not an unusual thing to draft a kicker, and I think if you're going with a 7th there,
Zane Gonzalez was a 7th rounder.
There you go. Then
we've had drafted kickers.
Mm.
Oh wow, Sebastian Janikowski.
Yeah,
1st rounder.
Yeah, I remember that years and years ago. Yeah, I remember that. Who is the guy who went to the Tampa Bay? Who went to Tampa Bay Buccaneers and it absolutely flopped?
Is it Aguayo?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it might be him.
Aguayo.
He was ridiculously, and he was like the next big thing, and everyone was like,
yeah. I don't think he missed it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you're right. I don't think he ever missed. I think
all his career, I don't think he missed it all, and then that's why he went so high, and then he sucked.
Unbelievable, but yeah.
It's the same thing. The same technique, the same style. That's why I don't understand why college game can't translate to the NFL, because you're just kicking the same ball. You kick. It's the same weight. It's the same size. You know what I mean? So it shouldn't be much of a big difference.
So then, Scouse, if you're in the situation then, and we're sitting there on Thursday, the next week, and we're in, because realistically this time will probably be Yeah, I thought the balls were slightly different in the NFL than college. Yeah, I thought so too. I'm not sure on that one.
It can't be that much different, though, surely. Or maybe like half an inch or something.
I couldn't honestly tell you. That's one thing I don't know.
We're
this time next week. We'll be sat in Green Bay, or stood in Green Bay, watching the draft, freezing our tits off. Yeah. What are you? Are you going to be fuming if you wait all the way down until we get to 29 and the pick's gone?
Probably, yeah.
Because we traded out. Because we traded out.
Yeah. I probably would, yeah, because you're there. That's obviously just the main night, the Thursday night.
Yeah. Night one.
That night. So to not be involved in it because you haven't got a pick anymore is pretty grim, really. But so I'd rather us pick somebody, but rather than trade out. Not just because we're going to be there, but I think you got to go best player available, but in a position of need. Now I know we went running back, but let's face it, our running back scenario is going to be poor after the season. B-Row will probably be gone, Eckler will probably be gone. So it's kind of if you got coming through.
Yeah,
to be fair, all those running backs we've got are on 1-year deals.
Mm-hmm.
All 4. So having somebody who's a first round back quality can do all three downs.
I'll take that.
It's hard to pass up, isn't it? Especially.
Yeah, I think so.
At the moment.
So we have got a question on this. So Yam put a question. He said, I won't be there live again, but what do each of you think is the most important thought heading into the draft? My most important thought, Yam, is to make sure I pack thermals and not freeze myself to death. Don't forget the name. Don't let your trousers fall down when you're on stage. That won't be helpful. And he says, is it more best player available or more trying to get more picks? Or is it staunchly only getting players of position of need, etc.?
I mean, I think I've always been an advocate of best player available, but in a position of need. I've always been that way in every way I've tried to draft, and I don't do a lot of mocks anyway. But in general, I tend to see that's how I'd like us to go down. Or I mean, when I'm looking at our drafts going forward, I'm like, who's the best player in the same position that we're struggling with? So, yeah, we'll see.
Shout out Buckeye DK. You're a Titans fan, fair enough, mate. Commander's second favorite team. JD, and that offense will be even better with mentality immensely rejuvenated. Debo.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I do too, mate. I do too, and thank you for that shout out. Yeah, I won't exactly. I'm not gonna forget to shout us out, mate. I'll be there on stage. I'll shout us out. Bleeding Burgundy and the 1 Point Safety.
You're not allowed any third party stuff, are you?
I saw that, but I'm still taking my hat, whether they like it or not. I'm still
going to hide it and then put it on last second when you're on the stage. Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, why not? They're going to pull me off stage. I don't know.
They
might do. They might do, and then that's it. I mean, I did see the thing. There's quite a tight restriction with. Let's talk about that a little bit. There's been absolutely zero communications. It's been pretty awful, to be honest with you. And that's not anyone, and I'm not blaming people. There's some international fan of the year who've had loads and loads of information, loads of stuff, this, that, and the next thing. I've heard of people getting flown to the team. They can come in a few days earlier and go around and do all this sort of shit. And it's like, okay, that's cool. I mean, I'm not that bothered about that at all. And it's not a jealousy thing, but some who've got absolutely loads of communications and some who've got absolutely diddly squat, nothing. And I'm kind of in that pile at the back of nothing. It seems that those who have almost like a UK or a European based outlet or an office or something like that, they seem to, or have played in the UK regularly or have some sort of European ties. They're getting all the information, whereas the ones who don't really have much are getting nothing. So Chicago International Fan of the Year, myself, the New York Jets International Fan of the Year, they're getting nothing. Whereas obviously Steelers, Jags, they're getting quite a lot of information. So it's we're all learning off each other. So we're all staying in the same hotel. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on the day. But yeah, man, the other thing as well is restricted items. It's going to be tough, I think. It's going to be tough to try and wear a patch or, maybe flash our logo somewhere. But I wanted to just wear my hat. Do you think he'd get away with it or not?
I don't know. Depends how harsh they're going to be. Like security, isn't it, really? It's all it's about.
Yeah, I mean, third party. Like, you could argue, is the hog farmer suit third party?
Yeah, true. That's a valid point. Yeah.
We
could just say that, couldn't we? Hey, they're not NFL bloody.
It's a guy. Is a guy who's dressed up like in spikes.
I remember that guy. Yeah.
Where is he wearing? Is that third party? I'm hoping that a hat should be fine, but we'll wait and see.
I think it's probably one of them. If it doesn't show a name or something like that, I think that'd probably be.
Yeah, fine. I think they'd be okay.
Probably okay, but a name or that might be a problem.
And let's be honest, the logo for the show is very much like the Washington logo. How we got permission to use that, I'll never know.
I know, yeah.
Shout out Jason, right? Yeah, thanks. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's one of them. But we did ask before anyone says anything around trademarking rules. So it's not all bad. We're not like that guy who held out on all the trademarks for years and years.
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy?
Still got it wrong, didn't he?
Yeah. Unbelievable. So, what are you most looking forward to then, Scouse, when we get out there? Is it just the fact of seeing the old stadium?
Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool, man. It's a legendary stadium, isn't it, Lambeau? I mean, it might be getting a bit old and stuff, but yeah, it's it's where Lombardi was. I know he was on man for one season, but he's obviously a Green Bay legend more than ours.
Gary Clark's doing this second round pick as well for us, so that'll be pretty cool.
That'd be cool to see him. Like, they might even get a chance to meet him. Who knows?
Yeah.
Really cool.
That'd be pretty sweet.
On the party, man. On the party.
It's very strange. I don't know, and I'm hoping we've seen a potential view of where we will be. And it's like they've gone divisions, haven't they? Like, these teams
here, give us all this, and it's giving each other grief, probably.
But it seems like we're a little bit further back from the stage, and there's like 5 or 6 teams that are right up front.
Yeah.
But when you look at them 5 or 6 teams right at the front, they've done it almost in pick order. So if you look at them teams, they're all kind of at the front.
So they've got early picks, or got multiple first rounders or something.
Yes,
it makes more sense, wouldn't it, for them for the cameras to see
exactly. Yeah, so you've got the Jags are up the front, you've got the Bears are up the front, you've got Titans are up the front. New England's up the front. So you're like, I could see where they were.
Last year we were up the front, weren't we? Because
we were. We very much were at the front.
So,
yeah.
And obviously we were number 2 pick, weren't we? So that makes sense.
But yeah, it'll be an interesting weekend. I'm still not looking forward to this 5-hour layover.
I mean, that's the one thing I'm not looking forward to is the travel time. I mean, it's
awful.
I think it's like 15 hours total one way. I mean, it's pretty
no, it's more than that. It's like 16:45 is the first one, and then it's
about 10 to Atlanta, and then 5 hours there.
Yeah, 9. I think it's
2 hours from there.
Yeah, 9 hours. 9 hours over to Atlanta, and then a 5-hour stop, and then a 2-hour flight from there to Green Bay, and then on the way back, it's even wilder.
Yeah,
it's like an hour.
Changes.
An hour's flight to Minnesota, and then an 8-hour flight from there to Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
And then an hour's hop back from Holland. So yeah, man, it's a crazy one. That's
gonna be painful. That's gonna be the most painful thing of all. The thing is gonna be the travel.
Yeah,
it's not even going first class. You know what I mean? So it's.
And I mean, I get it, and I'm really grateful for, obviously, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, 100%. Niggas can't be choosers, man.
No, not at all. I'm so impressed with it, but at the same time, it's like, I've got to stay in this airport for so long, and it's like, what am I going to do? But I suppose, depending on from where we are regionally, the airport is where the only flight out is to Atlanta. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing in between.
Even if you travel from London, it'd still be the same. You can't.
Well, no, there's lots to London.
Chicago, from London.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so you might be able to get to Green Bay a bit quicker if you're going to Chicago potentially.
Maybe, but you don't know the times. We didn't really check it, did we? But
no, we didn't. No,
I
think when we work it out, it's like I think it'll be about 27 hours or something by the time we get our bags. From the time I leave my house, it'll be 27 hours. I'll be awake. Yeah, so it's like, so I just probably want to sleep. To be fair,
yeah, the first day you will be like,
it will be what it will be. Our last question then, mate, that we've got in from fan submissions. Thank you to Canada Mike. He says, after the excitement of attending this year's draft and it is all over, do you feel the draft process will become boring for a decade with us picking at 32 every time? I love Canada Mike and his positivity. Look, let's be fair. Let's give the man his props. He was the only guy who said 12 wins. But he said 12 wins for 3 seasons, but it worked, so fair play to him.
33% correct ratio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Of course. Would it be boring for us as a perennial winner every year? No, I don't think it would be boring, would it?
I think if you get to 32 and you won the Super Bowl and then you're like, oh, next year you're there again, or if we're kind of picking, you either want to have your pick start with a 3. Let's be honest, right? But if you're there and your pick is starting with a 3 year on year out, you're not bothered about your team. It's like I couldn't give 2 shits who we're drafting, what we're doing. You know what I mean? You're drafting purely off need then of either a player is you're not going to pay them their contract, or you need a bit of depth here and there. It doesn't really matter at that point. Because you've then got a well-rounded team.
It's still the same. It's just that, as you say, you'd like to think that it's not a true need anymore.
Correct. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like unless you lose a player or you trade a player or whatever, or cut a player because of contracts, like you say. So it's still the same thing. It's still the same process every year. If you're in, where are we now? 29th.
29th, yeah, 29th
or 30 or 32nd. It's still the same. It's still the same process.
It just feels completely. It feels completely weird. For how many years did we sit through 12th, 14th, 16th? Them sort of picks.
Sometimes, isn't it? That's purgatory.
Yeah, it is.
A true elite guy who's a top 6 or 8 players.
Yeah,
and then you're not getting your team's not good enough to be near the bottom. That makes sense. Yeah. So you kind of look a little bit,
And it has to be that purgatory where you have to sit there and think to yourself, oh, hopefully this year's a great year for QBs because they always get overdrafted, and then you're like, oh, someone might fall at that point, and then it's like, no. Okay. Let's look at the Ron Rivera era. Do you know what I mean? How many first round busts?
Now, don't you wish you kept Chris Olave rather than trading it down and getting these other guys thinking, it's a great draft, we did the right thing. All the guys end up being busts. So, and Olave's proven quality receiver. So, it's
Chase Young.
Yeah,
I can't blame Ron for that one. I really can't. But it didn't work out for Chase over here. I get that. I understand that. But he got paid
by New Orleans, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That was the consensus pick at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
And he just took over. You know what I mean? So he didn't have a lot of time probably to truly evaluate, even though he's crap at doing that. But still,
Jamin Davis.
Yeah, that's a bad one. That one.
Dotson.
Oh yeah, they're awful. All of them been bad. At least you got one good year out of Chase before when all Pete Tong.
Yeah, true. Very true. He won the Rookie of the Year, so you can't do that. And the injury hit harder than it should have done as well. But lots of things coming up.
I told you at the time. Look, he come back at all. He blew his ACL and all the rest, but he blew his patella tendon at the same time. That just doesn't happen. So do it all at once. It's just it's a bad injury.
It's a devastator, that, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's why he's not at the level. It's going to take him years to get back.
You're right, Jesse. Dotson's rookie year was good. You're absolutely right. I mean, that just pisses me off. Gonzalez, like, if you want to go back, Will, go back to the draft night of on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, and you can watch my face drop because we did a live first round draft where we were all sat there watching the draft, and I was so unhappy that we didn't get Gonzalez. I was fuming.
I mean, it was a no-brainer. We couldn't believe that he fell to us. We're like, what's going on here? And then we fucking picked Forbes.
I know. It was like, Vontae or bust. It's like back to Kevin Costner in draft day, isn't it? But
it was it was like literally a kick in the nads. I mean, Forbes was onto a guaranteed loser here, unless he came in the first season and did like 4 or 5 interceptions. If he didn't do something like that, he was going to get rinsed, and it's exactly what he got. He got rinsed and booted out the door a couple of years later. So it's just awful, man. I mean, Gonzalez is a proven quality guy. I mean, we could have had Hamilton a year before that, or the year after that. Was it? We had Hamilton, and we didn't pick him either. It's like,
JOK, yeah.
Was that Jamin Davis's year?
Yes, it was Jamin Davis's year. Yeah. Rayshon Slater as well, man. Unbelievable. Could have had him.
There was dudes there, man, but real dudes, and we picked some absolute shite. So
I know. Well, that just about does us, Scouse, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday. It'll be interesting and happy flightings and all that sort of stuff that we'll have. What has gone
until he got hurt? I think Gonzalez got hurt.
He's not proven. I get that, Jesse. But we need a corner. I mean, who would you rather have, Gonzalez or Benjamin St. Juice? Come on, man.
Or Forbes.
It's not Forbes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not hard, but there you go.
If you pick the same positions, just pick the wrong dudes.
Yeah, true. Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. It is what it is. It's one of them things. And that's what happens sometimes when you fall in love with a player. You don't necessarily have the analysis or the will to do that. And having Peters' scouting background and the team around him, I think will be okay. I'm hoping that he can find some absolute studs here.
You see, in one season, he's won me over. So I'm going to give him a long leash. So
we will, Rod, plenty of photos. We'll also do plenty of live streams if we can. Obviously, depending on what the service is like, we'll see what happens over there. But we'll definitely be doing
some videos.
Definitely be doing some vlogs, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, check out the shorts on the show. We might go live and see what we can do. But yeah, we'll be out and about. So check out the social media. We'll put warnings out to say we're going live, all that sort of stuff. And we'll go from there. Scouse will undoubtedly, hopefully, record my pick, which will be quite crazy. Still not looking forward to it. I mean, 700,000 people turned up at Detroit last year, mate. I mean, worldwide audience of 26 million people, and you've got this idiot doing a pick. I mean, what have they let themselves in for?
Anybody who watches the draft and it's Washington's pick, what happens on TV?
Yeah, of course.
It goes through a break, so don't worry, mate. No one's going to see you pick, man. No one's going to see you pick.
Scouse don't scare anyone. He's not the hunchback of Notre Dame, Jesse. Leave the boy alone. I mean, dear me.
Yeah, man, but you're not going to be sitting on telly. It's just going to come up at the bottom on the fucking ticker at the bottom of the telly.
Probably. got my family round the TV waiting.
Whatever his name is.
He's on pick 245. Yeah, that's what we'll get him at. Oh, and they'll be waiting like that. Advert. Come back and it's 247.
You know what happens, man? It happens all the time.
100%. 100%. Yeah,
you know what's happening?
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll wait all day to watch it, and we'll be like, "What the fuck are you, bro? You're not even on the telly."
no doubt about it.
You know it, man. You know it.
I love it. All right, that's going to be fun. Don't forget to take your swim shorts as well. There's a water park in that hotel. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it. Anyway. And it's a good job we're not lactose intolerant, so we'll be fine.
Oh, the cheeseheads. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not bothered about that. All right. Well, that just about does us. Thanks everyone for joining us. Will, thanks Jesse, thanks Rod, thanks Ian, thanks for being in the chat. Thanks for Yam and Mike for putting questions in. We appreciate you all, and we
didn't even answer the question, did you? me bro's question.
Oh, did I not? Did I not see that at the beginning? I apologise, Ian. Sorry about that. When you call our player out of the draft, will you be getting a shirt for the Commanders for Memento, or do you buy one yourself? No, I get it given one. It's got International Fan of the Year 2024 written on the back of it. So apparently you can get a couple because some people get them signed by players and stuff like that. So I will try my best to get 2, but I'm definitely wearing it. And you have to wear it on the Thursday. And you have, in fact, you have to wear it all 3 days. Is what they've asked us to do. From the some communications that I've had through, and it's definitely needed for day 3 when you're on stage. So it'll be just a 24 with a little patch on with International Fan of the Year. So that'll be quite interesting to see what that's in. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. When it comes back and we're back in the UK, I will get it framed. I will get rid of this horrible display behind me, and hopefully we'll have some jerseys on the wall behind me.
He's just a better merch man, to be fair. You should have.
Mate, I've got 3. I've got 3 now. So I've got an RG3 signed jersey. I've got a signed Frankie Louvu jersey, and now I have the International Fan of the Year jersey. So yeah, and if I can get a decent photo of myself making the pick, I'll put that in the bottom. You know what I mean, and try and get it framed properly, because I'll have to contact your framing guy, but it's going to be quite an expensive do. Looking at about £400 probably to get him framed and ready to go.
At least 600 for 3.
You reckon?
Yeah, they're about 150, 200 quid.
Are they really?
Yeah. A bit of money.
Well, listen, if it's got to be professionally done, it's got to be professionally done. I
there's no point doing it yourself, is there? Let's face it.
No. I need a 17 on the wall. Yeah, man. Will, if I can get a 17 on the wall, I would. But it's how.
So you've got a lot of space. I mean, I've got like crap in the way of mine. Like,
yeah, I know.
Like, if I flipped it around,
if you flipped it around now, you could see all your merch. I mean, maybe you can do that one day. I don't know. Take us on the tour. Take us on the Scouts tour. Maybe do it for a short. And go through and say,
maybe I'll do a
say, what do you think of what do you think is your favorite piece? So your favorite piece that you've got at the moment, then have you got a favorite piece of memorabilia? Yeah.
Oh, you probably a signed posse photo from all 3 of them.
Nice.
All legit signed. All the certificates of authenticity and all that. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one. And along with me, especially made Redskins pink
helmet, innit?
Yeah, it's a full-size helmet, like proper one that players would wear, not a fake one, not a real one, but it was specially made from a guy in Vegas who does them all.
Your wife must be seriously understanding, because I've walked through your house a few times and it's like a treasure trove of just memorabilia. As soon as you get into the stairs, it's like, come upstairs. There's like Redskins memorabilia everywhere. I'm like, holy shit, Scouts! I've just got a shitty photo of all of us on the pitch.
All the children QBs got all those signed jerseys. Yeah. I think Kerrigan was actually my first signature signed one, I think.
Amazing.
I've got 3 Kerrigan, different things of Kerrigan.
Yeah, I know. You've got the American jersey, haven't you, up there as well? Who's the American jersey?
I've got, American custom jersey, and then a signed Redskins helmet, like a canvas, but it's got like the Scouts on it as well, so personalised to me.
Nice.
So that's one of my favourites as well.
I just got a cheeky selfie with him a couple of years ago on the pitch. Hey up.
Oh yeah.
He was fuming with that. He was like, "No, you can't do that." I was like, "Go on, just click." Oh, it was funny. I thought he was going to slap me at one point. He's a lot bigger than you. He's a lot bigger than you think. There you go. All right, well, that just about does us. I'll see you on Tuesday, Scouts, and what we'll do is we'll let you all know when we're going live. Hopefully, enjoy the draft wherever you're going to watch it.
That's where it's going to be, mostly Twitter and obviously our YouTube is where we're going to be putting all the things out, probably.
Have fun, and thanks, everybody.
Bye.